Okay, this is Milo Yiannopoulos and Tucker Carlson on Tucker's show. Um, and they are talking about the LGBT agenda being pushed onto children. And just take a look at what Milo, a gay, right leaning British person, has to say about it.
It's the white women who welcome in the drag queen story hour. Because there's no gay people like banging down the door.
That's right.
There's no gay people
so
like,
true.
excuse me, can I come read your kids? Do you mind? Can I come read stories to your kids? Like, no, they're not. But there are demons out there who will come do it if you invite them. Because what do you have to do with demons? Open a portal, open a doorway, you know? So
Yes, I do.
These women open the doorway and in comes, you know.
So Milo here, he definitely hits the target. To explain it in more detail, he is talking about this phenomenon of drag queens going into libraries, going into schools, and reading stories in this very revealing clothing that is almost soft porn. And they are dressing in drag, meaning it is a man dressing up like a woman in revealing clothing and reading to children. And Milo here, and I have to agree, is hitting on that feeling of this is disturbing. Why are we allowing half-dressed transgender people read to children? That sounds nefarious. Dude, you cut your willy off and you think that's heroic. Why are you showing your cleavage like that to a bunch of kids, dude? That's so weird. Okay, this one's not so bad. I just disagree that the rainbow represents gayness. I think God created all the colors, and you can't steal the rainbow away from God. Yeah, this one's not so bad. If these people just wanted to come and read to some children, and they have no agenda, I probably don't think that is what happened, considering there are rainbow decorations on the window. I feel like this is meant to represent gayness, which, you know what? Why are you teaching people to be gay? Like, why do we need to celebrate being gay? Why do we need to celebrate being straight? Like, make it make sense. But these people's attire, it's probably good. That's not very revealing of anything. Milo was not wrong about the demons. Okay, this was an advertisement for the story time hour with these two drag queens. And I'm guessing they showed up in something very similar to this. And just take a look at The cut of this man's dress, it's very revealing. Why do you need to show children this? Yes, I would need your response in writing. I need to get it notarized, as because I think this is creepy. This person with the purple hair might be LGBT, and they seem like they have no agenda. They are probably just reading to kids, and that's fine. Also, there is no overt sexuality being displayed here. And that's good. We do not need to show overt sexuality to children. Yeah. Again, these women right here are not dressed in a sexually provocative manner. And this is a caring, child rearing space. And for those of you that are like, but Sodom and Gomorrah, God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah because they were gay. I'm going to tell you this. This is Genesis 19:4. But before they laid down, the men of the city, the men of Sodom, both young and old, all the people, to the last man surrounded the house, and they called to Lot. Lot is the protagonist of the story, and he was invited into somebody's house, and the city's people are surrounding that house, and the Bible here says it's every man. Where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us, that we may know them.
We met Fleece Johnson, a longtime inmate who practices a very different kind of homosexuality.
But we have sexual desires, right? So you got a bunch of men locked up in one place. All of them get hard. All of them's horny. All of them got sexual desires. So what are they gonna do? You won't let them have a woman. They gonna have each. Somebody's gonna have to give us some booty, and it's just that simple.
The most memorable story that Fleece told us was about the place and importance that booty has in a maximum security penitentiary. And he went on about it and on about it.
In his prison, booty was more important than food. Booty, a man's butt. It was more important. I'm serious. It was more booty, having some booty was more important than drinking water, man. I like booty.
Johnson went on to tell our crew how he used to satisfy his sexual desires, especially during the 1970s and 80s, when he was most active and prison security was more lax.
When I see one, and he looks good to me, when I go see him, I say, you come here. I say, I'm telling you what, I like you, and I want you. And we can do it the easy way or the hard way. So the choice is yours, right? And it was always yes.
Johnson also had a warning for the new generation of inmates. They might be asking for trouble from old-timers.
You know, they got this thing where they sag their pants past their butt. It's a style. They call it some sort of gangster style. You know, it's sexy to us, right? And see, but they weren't prepared for this, right? So you sag your pants in her, man, somebody be up in your butt, you know? And it's just that simple.
Johnson even let the lockup crew know that when he was in his prime, they wouldn't be safe from his advances either.
If y'all had been in her back then in them days, and as much as I like booty, I probably felt one of y'all butts and y'all was walking past me and dared you to say so. I'm not no shame in my game. This is nothing that I'm ashamed to admit. I am what I am. I'm a warrior too, you know, so let that be known. I'm a warrior.
The most important thing in your life is going to be booty.
Y'all better listen to him.
A man's butt. Booty, getting some booty is more important than eating food. It's more important than drinking water. If I see a man I like, I tell him like this here. I like you.
He like you.
And I want you.
And he wants you.
Now, we can do this the easy way, or we can do it the hard way. The choice is yours.
What you want, Tom?
What's it gonna be? I asked you a question, Tom.
I can't hear you, Tom. I don't want to answer.
Excuse me, I didn't hear you, Tom.
I said I don't want to answer. I don't want to do this anymore.
Sound like to me you wanted the hard way.
Give it to him.
Calm down. Calm down. Now we taking over the prison, so back up. Back up. Back up. Back up. You can't have my booty.
What is that supposed to mean? That he's gonna know them? Like Adam knew Eve? Lot went out to the men at the entrance, shut the door after him, and said, I beg you, my brothers, do not act so wickedly. Behold, I have 2 daughters who have not known any man. Let me bring them out to you, and do to them as you please. So Lot, sorry to laugh. Lot is offering up his daughters to be raped instead of him. So this is the sin. It's not that being gay is the sin. It's the forcing of men to be bungalowed. If you get what I'm saying. That's what God is condemning. The sin was inhospitality. It was how they treated each other. It was not respectful. That's what the sin was. Though the Bible does say that a man and a wife are joined into one flesh, they make babies, right? It's a superior system to have babies and to have a family than being gay. Logistically, to a population, more babies means the population increases and more success is then found. But it also does not it says not to praise, not to say being gay is the best thing. That's what the Bible talks about. And the Bible also talks about there will be a time whenever people will say, blessed is the womb that never bore a child. So, I don't think the Bible necessarily thinks being gay is the worst thing, right? Inhospitality, not loving your neighbor, is far categorically worse in the Bible. And like in Leviticus 18:22, you shall not lie down with a man as with a woman. And that there are egregious consequences to it. I feel like the Bible categorizes that type of sin as a lesser sin. It does not talk about being gay as a big deal, except for like in Leviticus. Paul talks about it in some of his writings. He says, do not teach being gay, do not carry that agenda. I feel like a overarching view of how the Bible views gayness in some instances is that it is a perverted form of sex. That's it. And that it leans into sensationalism, like the senses, right? Lust. And if we are talking about the Old Testament and its extreme views, God did not write being gay is a sin on the Ten Commandments. It's just a general rule that it's probably better for a community if you promote heterosexuality over homosexuality. Because if your community is homosexual, it will be ended. Currently, about 9.5% of the American population reports to be part of the LGBTQ plus IA community. And yeah, I think it's just natural distribution of a falling society. I feel like this is just a indicator that our society is failing. There is a population of sheep, the domesticated sheep. They also have a natural distribution of males being homosexual at about 10% of their population. And that is a result, in my opinion, of being domesticated. Maybe not in the best way for their genetic code. And so anomalies such as homosexuality come about. And I do not necessarily think that that is sinful. I think it is an indication of sin. In other matters, to the individual, such as corruption and overcrowdedness. You know, it reminds me a lot of the Rat Utopia project. And the Rat Utopia project was called Universe 25. And it says here the colony started with 4 males and 4 females and peaked at 2,200 and then declined to extinction once a tipping point was reached. The mice lost instinctual behaviors. Scientists extrapolate this model to humans on Earth. And during this project, this experiment, this rat population did not have to do a thing for food, water, and shelter. And that led to overcrowding and social pressures. And there were behaviors noted such as homosexuality due to this social pressure. And yeah, I think this backs up my idea that a large spike in homosexuality is not, you know, the homosexuality is a bad coping mechanism for harsh social pressures. It is a maladaptive coping mechanism. So I find it alarming that there is a gay agenda, and I also find it alarming that young people are more gay than the older generations, because I see this as an indication of a collapsing society. Morals and virtues. So I do not think that it is mean or hateful to say that we should not support Drag Time Story Hour. I think teaching children to be gay just like teaching a child how to smoke is probably not good. Now, if a child figures out that they are gay, well, you know, it's more power to them. And if a child figures out that, hey, that stogie over there, that brightened my mood, well, you know what? That child's probably going to be just fine. You know, but if they become disrespectful, if they do not love their neighbor, and they start smoking meth, you know, then we got a problem. You know, I just want to see my country do well. That's all I want. Yeah, I don't really want a gay agenda being taught to children. in public places. Teach them that it's okay to be gay if they are. Accept them, and leave it at that. Be happy for any success that they have in their life. It's kind of like smoking. Like, they're not. Your child's not gonna die, and it probably makes their life happier. And I don't see why there's anything wrong with that. But I'm not gonna hand a child a cigarette. And that's what the LGBTQ plus IA agenda is trying to do. Hand out free cigarettes to children. It seems very accelerationist. Accelerationist to collapse. Whenever society reaches a limit to where normal everyday people cannot no longer increase their social placement within their society, things come about that would not naturally come about if it were not such a socially pressured place. Like the big dogs take everything, and then the middle people have the crumbs, and the lower people have nothing. That's not a stable society. China, they have a movement called the laying flat movement, and young people are deciding to do nothing. I think these indicators are indicators of a sick society. I do not hate my LGBTQ plus friends. I just think we are people stuck in a sick society. Pride, ego, greed, selfishness. That's what I'm against. And I think those attributes have been correlated to the LGBTQ plus IA agenda. And I think it's damaging. Like, comment, and subscribe. And God bless. God bless you. Okay.